This is the landfill. This is the landfill in the city where I live in Yangon. And you have 6 of the landfill, like this one. And each of this landfill is bigger than metropolitan Oslo. So this is a huge problem. So all the waste over time go to the oceans, and this creates this problem. Globally, 15 of the 20 most polluted rivers are in Asia. That's why it has huge pollutions. When people see the problem, we see it as a huge opportunity. The market size, Asia Pacific market size for waste management alone is more than 120 billion USD. This is quite a significant market size.
Welcome everyone to the Breaking Silos Collective, the show where we tell you why breaking silos matters and how you can do it. My name is Sophia Jamil. I am the East-West Center's XPD Ambassador for Southeast Asia and the co-host of this special Breaking Silos Collective series, Breaking Silos with Innovation Fellows. As mentioned in the introduction, this series is done in collaboration with the East-West Center in Hawaii, and our episode for today is 1 out of 15 episodes where we will be speaking with the East-West Center's 2021 Innovation for Sustainable Development Fellows to know more about their innovative projects. And these fellows are professionals and EWC alumni under the age of 40, and they are in various fields: arts, environment, education, health, and disaster resilience sectors. And they come from a variety of countries around the world. So I'm very happy today to have with me Okka Phyo Maung from Recyglo in Myanmar to tell us more about his work in Recyglo. So I'll just read out a bit of background about Okka. Okka is a green tech entrepreneur focusing on the Asia Pacific market. He is the co-founder of Recyglo, an innovative zero-waste circular economy and analytics platform using AI and IoT. He is currently leading the ASEAN market expansion for 1 billion positive impact by 2025. That's very exciting, Okka. Thank you for being with me today. Maybe you could start off by telling us a bit more about yourself and what made you decide to co-found Recyglo.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me here. It's an honor to be part of this program. My name is Okka. I'm the co-founder of Recyglo. The reason that we decided to co-found this business together is because we believe in sustainability. We believe in creating a dream, making it a reality. So dreams are great, but it's just not enough to dream, but you also need to actually achieve it. So we are the dream catcher. We have a dream that we want to create a society that everybody live in a free and fair society, and people live in harmonious environment, and there is no waste that you normally see in many parts of Southeast Asia. It's very green, so we want to see that as a dream, and we want to give and provide an actual solution to the community. So that's the motivation that we started to start these organizations.
Right. So your organization is basically about waste management. Right now, especially in COVID, in this pandemic time, waste management is very important. And in fact, there's even more waste, people would say, as a result of people just staying at home, having more disposables, even using more electronic devices. How has your organization dealt with this issue? And this is a question from one of your fellow mates in the fellowship, Khalid from Bangladesh. She's asking, waste management is very crucial in this time of the pandemic. Tell us how your organization is dealing with the waste generated during this pandemic.
It is extremely challenging for us because we're not. I mean, when we collect it, we work with the 3PL, third party logistic. We also work with the informal waste collector. We train them, we educate them to be able to participate in a formalized and formal economy where they can enjoy socials and environmental benefit. They can have a insurance and job security by working with us. But right now, you're not working in the typical situation anymore. You have to protect all those all of those partners you are working with. So we have to change pretty much a lot of the SOP, standard operating procedure, to adjust and to adapt the new normal. So in the past, when you go and collect it, you just you go with the normal jacket and helmet and safety boot. But now, many of our collector independent contractors are required to wear PPE equipment, protective personal protective equipment, and they also need to receive a training how to deal with the waste that are generated from this pandemic period, because the waste might be contaminated, or the mask. I mean, you will see quite a lot of masks. Then it's quite dangerous to send them in the field without having a proper knowledge of handling those waste. So that doesn't mean that we should stop operating at the same time, because if we don't operate it, I mean, it would be even more challenging for the community, because who is going to manage for all of our clients? We're providing the professional service, and if there is no Recyglo, who is going to manage those waste? So we are providing a essential business. So we have to be very active, even in this pandemic time. So what we do is, like, we change the SOP, we give training, we also give specialized equipment to protect our colleague and partner from COVID-19 virus. So that is our target. So at the same time, because of this training, because of this increasing awareness, the positive thing is that our colleague became more aware of hygiene issues and how to protect themselves. So that's how the positive impact that we receive. At the same time, financial there are some financial costs, because you have to spend like at least $10 or $20 more every time you go and collect it. It's also, people are not very comfortable, where you are basically packed in the PPE suit when you collect it. So the biggest challenge that we have is, when you collect it, the waste might be contaminated. Then how do you dispose all those contaminated waste? It's extremely challenging. So we have to work with the supplier side as well. So those waste, before they send it to the landfill or incinerations, they need to be sanitized. So there's also additional cost, additional procedure as well, additional training are also involved. Also, these waste must be properly disposed at the same time. So we need to work with the supplier as well, supplier side as well. Very challenging. So day to day, we have to do a lot of risk management to protect our colleague, our community. So you have to find a right balance. Sometimes it's very tiring, like to serve our clients, because the clients, they really want to make sure that they have zero waste, and they still want to like recycle everything. So we have to come with a very new innovative idea. For example, like recycling of mask. So mask is basically plastic. So you can press it, and you can make like eco brick. You can sanitize it. You can make it like construction materials again. So we provide, we have to find a new, we have to do a lot of research to give satisfaction as well, in these difficult times. Also, our colleague, our employees, whole team, their families are also quite worried, because because we are in essential service. So sometimes they are required to come to office. It's not enough just to work from home. I mean, all the IT guys, yes, they can work from home, but the actual core team, they might need to come to office to deal with the, like logistic people or the collector. So a lot of, I mean, quite a few of them left the company, not just because of, they don't like Recyglo, but it's because of the families are quite concerned. Not to, they don't want to send the children to the public bus, public transportations, all this stuff. So we have a lot of like challenges, HR challenges at the same time, but we manage it. I mean, because you have to. Our philosophy is wherever it happened, the services must go on, because if we don't, if we stop it, there will be bigger and higher consequences. So we want to provide consistency and quality services to our clients.
Yeah, and especially I think, despite the risks involved, I mean, being an essential service, you're still providing jobs to people, and in this time there are people who are without jobs, and at least
Yeah.
there is still that ability to still go and still provide a service. I wanted to ask, so how big is the organization? How many people do you have working for you, and how many districts do you cover in your work?
Right. We are currently covering around 5 million people, with with so many different programs. We have B2B, we have B2B2C, we have B2G2C, different business model that we apply. We are active in 4 or 5 cities in some, mostly in Myanmar, but we are also active in some part of the Southeast Asian countries like Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia as well. Very far away country that we work on a project basic. So we provide technical assistance to the existing community. But our home, I mean, we are registered business in Singapore. We operate quite a bit in Myanmar. So we serve quite a lot of people. So how do we cope with this situation is, so like for example, like one city in Myanmar, it's called Mandalay. We have a citywide plastic waste collection. So we put the bins in all the public spaces, and the bins receive only plastic from the public. And we work with we work with the local supplier and us, and also we talk to the local municipal government to be able to create public-private partnership. It's very challenging to work with the government in Southeast Asian part. So it's even though the model is PPP model, but it's quite a strong private hands are involved. Then we will collect it, and then we will find the suppliers to do the distributions. We will collect data, and also the routing is optimized, so you don't waste your fuel. To just go to the every bins. You only need to go to the bins where it's full, because bins are normally equipped with a sensor, and they send their data to the hub. The hub analyzes, and they give you the best routing for you possible. And so that you don't need to do it every day also. Also, some of the bins they're also equipped with like compactor. So because of the compactions, you also save time. You also save the cost as well. Then you have like analytic data. Then we provide these analytic report to our clients, so the clients can see like how much impact they are creating, how much waste that we are collecting, where all these wastes are going. So it's holistically, you are having a feeling of your whole supply chain, from production to consumptions to becoming a waste to becoming like raw materials and products again. So you can see and track the whole supply chain. So that's our B2B or B2G2C model. We also have like B2B2C models. Then we serve, let's say, one office tower in Singapore. Then people who come to this office tower, they can use our service and they can recycle these materials. So those materials are again collected by the third party, and then delivered to the recycling facilities or composting facility to process those waste. So we expect to increase more. We also expect to find more solution provider to offer more aggregated circular economy solution to our clients.
And so is it just the basic plastics, paper, and e-waste, I believe, or are there other things that you are collecting for recycling?
Our goal is to recover 100%. So we do pretty much everything. So the basic things are like plastic, metal, paper, glass, and you also have hazardous waste like e-waste. We also do e-waste. Uh, let's say some of the waste are very challenging to process, like for example mercury, or all these different very dangerous type of waste. Then we work with the recycling partner they are based in like East Asia or Europe or America. So we will do the Basel II Convention agreement, so we can do the shipment of all those dangerous chemical. So normally you in South Asia, it's the rivers are it's like the dumping ground for everyone. You just dump everything, and they are hoping that they will fix by themselves. But it is not. So if you pour the one barrel of mercury to the lake, I mean you will have millions and millions of consequences, and health and safety consequences to the public space. So all those dangerous chemicals, whether we ship it to South Korea or to Japan or to Europe or to Europe, to be processed and to store in the certified recycling facility. Because South Asia doesn't still have the strong infrastructural site to process these waste. I mean, they can do their processing for like plastic, metal, paper, can, but hazardous waste, we cannot do it yet. So we will need to connect with the international supplier to do that. So our services are quite varied. You can tell us we want zero waste, then we can make it zero waste. You can tell us that we only want to recycle plastic, then we can only recycle plastic. Then you can tell that like we want to turn our organic waste to a natural fertilizer. We can do that too. So we have all those solutions available to make sure that your waste are completely circular, and you also collect data, and you can trace and track your supply chain, so that you can make an informed decision, informed business decisions. So we are like a consultant like McKinsey or BCG, with the analytic report, and you can get data live, and you can use this data to grow your businesses and to protect the environment and to do compliance.
Right. Yeah, and that's so important to have that data, like in black and white, the statistics, so that people know that they're actually making an impact. Because the problem with when people think about environmental action and recycling, oh, I don't know, I'm just recycling this, I don't know
Yeah.
whether it's going to make a difference. So this is really important, especially for businesses that want to know where is their money going and whether it's making, whether they're getting their returns on it. So that's very important. I think when we're talking about environmental sustainability, there has to be some sort of financial sustainability for these companies that engage these sort of services. And yeah, I think that's excellent. Um, I'll take another question from one of the other fellows from Team Demi Laut in Malaysia. They ask, what are the key values? What key values do your solutions cover in terms of social or environmental value, and how is that returned to either the environment or society?
Right, right. I think that's an excellent question. We are a impact business. I mean, we don't just highlight the maybe some impact that we made or CSR program. Our business is itself is an impact business model. We are serving it in the countries that doesn't have the infrastructural aggregation elements. So we become an aggregator. When we try to measure the impact, we will do normally do two ways of impact measurement. So we will do the qualitative and quantitative. So in terms of the quality, then we will see we will find the case studies. Let's say one village that we work with, their life has changed, their income increased, and the health situations got better, and they got educated before and after. And so we have like several key metrics that we use as a quality measurement to help the community to improve the life. For the quantitative aspect, so we will see how many people that who are using our service. You know, before they have no Recyglo, they have no segregational opportunity, they have no recycling opportunity. But now with Recyglo, they can actually use our service. They can use our bins. They can also use our AI's power and analytic to make informed decisions. So these direct impact users, how many people are currently using our service, and they are happy with it, you know. So that's a little bit more detailed. So we will use like a direct impact user, so it's the number of users at the same time. So we use these two elements. But these two elements is also covered by the theory or change approach. So we have a specific objective, a specific goal every quarter and every year. So we will measure. So in order to achieve this specific objective or specific goal, we have to do these 4 or 5 elements. So one element is to increase the lifespan. Our second element is to increase the like accessibility of the solid waste management. So each element, what are the tasks that we have to do, then we will do it. So we will assign these tasks to our team member, and they will be received their objective key result. So they have this they also receive like a quality and quantity objective key result. It's similar to KPI, but KPI is like it's very much numeric focus, but this one is like you have specific objective. So the numbers are supporting this objective, which is a reality that we all like to live, a better environment, better society, a healthier lifestyle. So all this stuff, right? So we will work with the team. We will also work with our partner and supplier. We try to achieve the common goal in multiple training. Then we work on it, on a monthly basis or weekly basis. We monitor it again, on the every week or every other day. We work with leadership team, the manager. They will monitor their team performance. Then we try to achieve it. So not just the financial goal. Financial goal, of course, we have a financial goal, but for the impact side, we always go hands in hands. The reason is if you just focus on the finance, first of all, we will not be in this business. You can do logistic, or you can do just deep tech, AI, just pure deep tech. That will be easier to sell your company or to become a millionaire in like few year time. But since we are an impact business model and we are trying to solve this problem, we need to have a balance between finance and the impact objective. So it all goes hands in hands. So it's like you are submitting a proposal. You have to submit your technical proposal, but you also have to submit the financial proposal. So we have to do two things together. Are they having a balance? So you have like a score metric. Are they having are they having too much lean on the finance side, or are they having too much lean on the impact side? Because if we just focus on impact side, then we just become an NGO, right? So since we are a for-profit company, you have to meet the expectation from the investor as well. It's very challenging. But I think the consecutive monitoring, a consistency in the performance, and the risk management, they speak very loud when you do the medium to short-term game. So that's why I think when you mentioned about the company and us, we want to have a direct impact user of 1 billion people by 2025, because we are also raising multiple rounds. We are going to different countries. Let's say Indonesia, let's say only 50% use our service. That is already like 150 million people. And India, let's say they use only 20% of our service. That's already 300 million people, something like that. So that's how we try to achieve our goal on the quarterly basic, on the monthly basic, on the yearly basic.
Fantastic. Love it. We'll take a few more questions. You have a few questions related to, since you're talking about having that impact on different segments of society. Delga from Mongolia asks, how do you organize the online training on waste management, especially for poorer communities? They don't have any access to, they usually don't have any access to connect to the internet. How do you deal with these kind of issues?
Okay. I think this question maybe not apply to us because we're not providing like digital services to the consumer directly. So our clients, it's the big businesses or the normal businesses or the government. The beneficiaries are the bottom BOB based on the pyramid community. So but in terms of educational elements, yes, we do the like the digital training, but these days like in Southeast Asia, everybody has a mobile phone, and very few different generations or very few people they don't have this kind of access. So you might not have a fiber, but you will have a mobile phone. So mobile phone will come with the internet access. So yes, I mean we don't find it challenging because we use the hub approach model. So let's say one village, they have, let's say this village has 10 service provider, but only one you can use the internet, and only very few young people have a mobile phone. So these young people and only that one mobile tower is enough for us, because you can have a mobile phone, you can stream it to the big screen, or you can just show it to your community, and then it could be a Viber or it could be a WeChat or WhatsApp, and then you can see the live with this one, and they can share it back to the community. So that's already achieved our goal. We're creating champion. So those champions can receive the training. The champion, we ask them to sign a pledge to do their pay forward. So this champion can impact to like another 10 champion, another 10 champions can impact another 10 champion. So that's enough for us. So that's how we do the remote, rural area. Let's call it revolution. But it's actually not that difficult because these days everybody has young people are quite active in the internet, and they know how to do it, and they're happy to share back to their families or friends or grandpa or grandma.
Right.
So that's how we do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the statistics on mobile internet penetration in Southeast Asia, I think we have one of the highest in Southeast Asia for people who are on their mobiles. So yeah,
It
you're
is.
right.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's very funny because if you go to the States, the internet speed with the mobile connections it's slower than South Asia. I was surprised. So they have like a 5 megabyte or 10 megabyte, 20 megabyte, but we have like with the mobile speed we can reach up to like 70, 80, 90. That's crazy. I mean, because the livelihood, the internet, it's very difficult for us to get it from the fiber. So also telecom operator, they give all of their effort to increase the speed of their mobile internet so that they can make more money. So that's
Yeah.
the idea also.
Yeah. So you were mentioning like you were training people who would champion the cause.
Yeah.
And so it's like training of the trainers sort of concept. So this leads to another question from Khalid in Bangladesh. He asked, engaging women in waste management is very important. How how does your organization promote women participation in the waste management sector? And I guess an extension of that, what is the response of those people who are being those trainers? or
Yes,
champions?
yes, yes. Uh, we not only looked at from the bottom-up approach, but we also looked at from the top-down approach. So our management is more than 50% women, and the whole team is also more than 50%. At least minimum 50% is fulfilled. It's very rare it's very rare. I think especially I think still these days they stay very rare, but also our client focus is also equality, woman focus. We work with we give preference for the woman entrepreneur. So if they have a recycling solution that they want to work with us, then they can work with us. Then we will give training to them. We will give empowerment. We will also try to connect them with the financial organizations so that they can get the loan, they can get the grants, small grants to support the business. So that's our partner side. There's also our community side. People who manage the household, most women, some family, it stays a large chunk of the father, breadwinners are a father and a male figure. So the women deal with waste management, the household waste management. They have to, So we help them. We help them to clean. We help them to understand. We help them to realize the importance of circular economy. So we educate them. It's not just on the woman side, but of course we also do on the breadwinner side as well. But now it's about the same. But because you cannot educate only on the one side, otherwise the other side will ask you, okay, you're just doing too much. I cannot spend anymore. So that's also not good, right? So we also educate on the middle side also. This is very important to understand how importance on each task in the family. So we that's how we reach out to them. So also our supplier side, like waste collector, they are mostly women. So if you are a waste collector, I think pretty much in rest of the Southeast Asia, you can earn around $3 to $5 or $6, depends on maybe $10, even $10, depends on where you are collecting or what type of waste you're collecting. So we help them to increase their income. Because it's likely that if you support a woman, they all will also support their children as well. So their children's they can have more support because they have higher income. That means that they can send their kids to school. They can also educate. They have less financial burden. The reason that the children don't go to school is because they have the family is too much. Oh, I cannot stand anymore. You have to find a job. Do the stuff. Even though like he's like 5 or she is like 6. So now they have more stable job, more stable income. That means they can feed their family. They can send their kid to school. We really encourage them to do that because if we will help you to increase your income, but we have some requirement. This is the checklist. Da, 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 da. Can you do it? It's a very much incentive driven mechanism. Oh yeah, if I can double my income, yes, I'll do it because I don't need to send my kids to the temp site anymore. I can already make this amount of money, right? So that's how we change the perceptions from the family also. So a lot of our suppliers are women. Yeah, I think the whole from top down or bottom up we really value the equality, we really value the gender inclusiveness.
Yeah, Okka, you brought up a very good point about the fact that women empowerment is not just about focusing on the women, but there's also the importance of supporting the men and getting the men's buy-in. I think that's something that when we talk about women empowerment in more in some contexts, people forget that, and when they come to local contexts like in Southeast Asia, in Asia, and even in the Middle East, I've heard this where, like you mentioned, there's a need for the men to have a role in it, to feel that they are still doing their traditional roles, and there's that balance and understanding that traditional roles are also very important, and making it complementary. It's not to say it's just women, but it has to be both sides, and I think that's very important, especially when people talking about women empowerment in Asia or in other parts of the world. We'll take a question from. I mean, you were mentioning about the working with the partners, and you are leading the expansion in Southeast Asia. So we've got a couple of questions related to that. Team Demi Laut from Malaysia is asked, what type of discussions do you have with your partners to align them with your vision? And Delga from Mongolia also asks, as you are the chief marketing officer, how do you reach out and connect with the international market? And how did you start and expand this international network? So basically, what are the processes of this expansion and dealing with these stakeholders, business stakeholders, and the challenges perhaps with that?
This sector is extremely challenging because this is considered as a public sector. So we have a series of solutions that we customize based on the requirements and needs of the host country. If there is a need to do the actual collection because there is no provider, then we have to find a 3PL, third-party logistic, to work with us. If the government doesn't allow to collect it, they have their own things already, then we will work with the existing waste collector to trace and to track and to support the artificial intelligence, routing systems, sensor system, IoT devices, and install them everywhere, so that they can have a more efficient and manage their supply chain better. They can also, use our software to make it efficient and to optimize their cost, to reduce the downtime. So they can use it. So we will customize it based on the market that we are operating. So if we are operating in a more advanced economy, then we will only focus on the software, AI, IoT side. But if we are operating in a maybe not so advanced country or developing country, then we will have to find a supplier. Then we also look for the laws. Are we allowed to do that? Are we not allowed to do that? So based on the existing environmental law, then we will work around and find a point that we can collaborate. So it sounds like it's too much customization, but it's actually not, because we already have like 4 or 5 solutions that, let's say solution 1 is suitable for this market, and we only apply this solution 1. It's similar to, I think, let's call it a Grab model, because Gojek is very much focused on the Indonesian market. So Grab is like, it has so many services, but they don't offer all the services to each country. They will customize it to each market. So we do the same. We have 10 services. We only offer 2 services to this market or 3 services to that market. So that's how we do the international expansion. So in terms of like registrations in Southeast Asia and companies setting up, it's very hard. A lot of compliance, even though if we fulfill the compliance, the ground situation is still be very different. So it's not like you are starting a company in Japan or like to Canada. It's not like that. A lot of like invisible compliance, invisible tasks that you have to fulfill. So you always have to work with the local supplier to fulfill these compliance requirements, to do the job, for financial tax, commercial tax, corporate income tax, personal income tax, and the capital requirement. You really need to understand the market. So it's good to have a local supplier or local partner to help you to guide through this process. First of all, before you expand to international market, you have to win one market. But the one market can be an anchor market to support your growth, financially, and so that you can use this anchor market to get another anchor market, and then you can go to even speed up higher, because it's like a hockey stick. It's very difficult to start, but when you start it, when you scale it, and you're going to do this thing, you can create extremely strong growth in a very short period of time. So that's why we are targeting a 1 billion impact by 2025, despite all the challenges. We still believe that we can do it, but you have to find the right support, right partner, right investor, right community member to do it.
Thanks for that. That's, I mean, expansion into Southeast Asia, especially when, different governance systems and legal systems are at play, and, it's definitely challenging, but I think you're doing a really good job so far to go into several of the Southeast Asian countries. Um, we've got we've got one more question from Yulfitri from Indonesia. She asks, in Recyglo's 2020 annual report, it was mentioned that your client satisfaction rate is 80%. Please share what are the aspects that they were least satisfied in, and how are you planning to improve it within the year?
Clients, they will never be 100% satisfied. It's the fact. It's the fact. So when you do the NPS, Net Promoter Score, you aim for the 8, 9, 10. Then you're good. So we have 80%. Yes, we do have some room for improvement. We get to know the clients personally and professionally. I think that's the best way. If you form a friendship, for them it's easier to break it with you, because they already know you and you already know them. So if they find something that they don't like, then they will call you. I don't like these things. I don't. You have to change it. So it will be very much friendly approach rather than a strong complaint or arguing, or like pure dislikeness. We're not a like perfect company. We still need to do a lot of customer service, client satisfactions, improvement of service. We are improving day by day, especially this year and last year, because of COVID and political situations. Our quality of service, I think it's not as performing as pre-COVID time. So we want to restructure the team to be able to provide better services, also better quality management, and the client is always happy. So that's our plan. But we also understand, you will never make all the clients happy. But at the same time, you also need to let them go sometime, because client is always not happy. Then you try to make them happy, but it still doesn't happen. They say don't like it. Then it's better to let them go. Maybe it's not the right thing for you and right thing for them. Then you can focus on the other client. You can give more special effort from the lessons that you learned from the previous clients. Then you can understand more. You can reach out to them in a more personal and professional manner. So I think sometimes to let them go, it's also good. It's also well, we have one lesson, which is like if one client complains too much, maybe it's a sign that they don't want to let go of you. They still love you, because that means they're still complaining. If they don't like you, they hate you, they will just cancel their service. They will just cancel the subscriptions. So we do like complaints. We appreciate complaints. We have a hotline that they can call us. We are open to channels for Facebook, for social media, LinkedIn. They can reach out to us, to us anytime. Then we will tell the customer service team to fix it as soon as possible. Since we are a small team, we work very closely. I think it's better to cancel out all the bureaucracy. Otherwise, you will never know what's going on the ground.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even for my own company, I mean, having that lean, small team makes you be able to run faster, and you don't have all that sort of institutional baggage to get through. So there is definitely benefits when you're a smaller team. People will say you have less resources, but at least you can, be more focused and get decisions out faster. And I totally agree that, you need that building of trust and relationship, business relationship with those clients, that they will trust you and feel comfortable with you. And I mean, that's part of the whole thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So maybe to just wrap up, and these are a couple of questions I always ask the guests that come on the show. What does breaking silos mean to you, and what advice would you give someone that wants to break silos for sustainable development?
So I watch a lot of your shows. And
Oh,
it's
thank
very
you.
interesting. uh, um, so I think first of all, I remember the show with the zookeeper from Denver. I think I'm not
Lauren
sure.
Lee,
Lauren Lee, yes,
San
yes.
Diego, yes, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was interesting. Like she was in zoo and she was showing animals and first of all, I feel the inspiration. Oh, that's really cool. This is something I want. I feel I want to change my career uh, to get closer to the animals because animals are easier to handle than humans. I think. So I think I feel the inspirations. Second of all, I think it's a help. You can share knowledge and you can have a conversation. And a lot of people are quite like-minded. Uh, People are very chill and you, they are willing to listen to you and you can share your ideas and they will give you their feedback and you can improve this idea. It's a very intellectual community, I would say. Uh, uh, I think it is pushing you to reflect what you have done. It's also if you have no idea, you didn't do anything, it's also fine. I think it's a place that you can learn and grow. Uh, like you can start your business or you can do your PhD or you can become a politician. This kind of like a place you need it as a base, as a background to connect because the people that you see today then they will be very influential maybe in a 10 years time frame. um, then you can understand the ideas and philosophy where they're coming from. uh, you can get the motivations and inspiration from them. So I really like this like intellectual community. I think it's a foundation and background for young people in their transaction stage to become super like influential and very highly trained leaders in the global stage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, definitely very important to be
Yeah.
exposed to different perspectives, especially when you're in positions of influence.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I agree that because it's always about you need to listen rather than just talking, and and rather than just talking, you need to walk the talk as well. So yeah, thanks for that point, Oka. Any final thoughts or information that you would like to share with the audience about Recyclo or anything else you'd like to say?
Perseverance, I think, and grit. I mean, you watch on the tech talk, you will see these things. I think it's a key to to go to the next stage. So some people are good at like 1 to 2, some people are good at like 1 to 5, or some people are good at like 5 to 10. They don't want to do one because it's too much for them. Um, but of course, you have your own specialty, you have your own specialized area and focus. But I think after you have these things, and you have to have like a right attitude. Uh, what I want to give the message to the new generation, let's call it Gen Z or Gen Alpha, because I'm a Gen Y, very close to Gen Z, um, uh, is you still have something to learn from the older generation. Normally people don't like boomers, right? Boomers are like, oh, yeah, they're very different, it's crazy. But boomers are, if boomers, let's say in the West, they enjoy the incredible wealth, economic growth. But I think for Southeast Asia, I think Gen Y, maybe a little bit of Gen X, we have the wealth increase, because multinationals coming in, all the investment coming in. Our parents, maybe they might make like $100, but our generation, we're making like $5,000. Uh, it's not difficult to make $5,000. Or I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you can even make more money. Financial is just a number, but I think it's reflect the growth So you can learn from the other generations what kind of mistake they have done, what kind of right thing that they have done. I think it's something that you can really enjoy. I think life is, always looked at the history, always looked at the old generations, always find something that you can learn from them. Sometimes, they're not very good. They're just, pure crazy. But you can take the good things from other generations. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely a lot of lessons to learn from history. Otherwise, we'll be
Yes.
repeating history.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Thank you, Okka. I mean, I really enjoyed this conversation. It's really insightful to know the stuff that you're doing with Recyglo, especially in these very difficult times, whether it be global pandemic or the situation in the country and the region as well. So thank you for being with us today, and thank you to our viewers. We hope you've enjoyed this insightful discussion. And if you would like to know more about Okka's work in Recyglo, check out the information and the links in the description below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with other people who would benefit from it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So from me, Sophia Jamil from Breaking Silos Collective, and Okka from Recyglo, thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.